November Alpha 1 India Sierra Sierra. You're coming in a bit garbled, but still understandable. How me? Over. Ready for questions. Over. Harper, that's a great question. It is hot when we're facing the sun, and it is very cold when we are blocked from the sun. And so in our spacesuits, actually, we are the only source of heat, our human body, so it's very important we don't get too cold. The only other thing we have is some fingertip heaters on our gloves, and for cooling, we have water that runs through a suit that we wear to help cool us down. Over. Rebecca, yes, definitely. No, I'm just kidding, actually. I think we each have different, as individuals, different things we bring to the table and strengths and weaknesses. And so I would say both boys and girls can be very well suited for space. Over. Alice, that's a good question because you may know we orbit the Earth 16 times a day, so we're seeing either a sunrise or sunset about every 45 minutes. We actually have here on the International Space Station, and so to help us recognize if it's supposed to be day or night, we set our lights brighter during the day and turn them off, or set them on a lighter mode during the, or a darker mode during the evening. Over. Love living and working up here, especially floating and looking back at Earth. It's really fun. But I do miss a lot of things about Earth, especially my friends and family. So maybe if I could bring them with me, I would be happy to spend the rest of my life in space. Over. Being up here has been very eye-opening and given me a whole new perspective to the way we see the Earth as a united entity in this beautiful planet with everyone. So I hope in the future for mankind we can have more people come up to space and get this perspective, and that we can eventually go further than we've gone before by going back to the moon and eventually onto Mars. Over. Alex, you'll be happy to know we already do bring our holidays up here. We have an international crew here, and we celebrate holidays from all over the world up here. We have Christmas and Hanukkah coming up soon, and so we'll definitely be celebrating those up here. Over. Audrey, for me, just seeing how vast there are, I can't imagine that we wouldn't find other living organisms eventually. I don't know if they'll be as advanced as humans are, but I think we will find other living organisms. Over. Joseph, a little dizzy and disoriented when they first get to space because of the weightlessness. But once you get adjusted to that, no, you don't get dizzy anymore. Over. I've only experienced one Soyuz docking so far since I've been up here, and I did not feel the space station shake. I think it was pretty gentle. Over. Wow, Joshua, that's a great question. So gravity is basically a when you have any body of mass, it's a force that pulls things towards that mass, and the larger the mass, the more pull there is. I'm not actually sure why it happens, but that's what gravity is. Over. Ronnie, that was during the Apollo missions. I believe it was actually Apollo 13 where the 3 astronauts on board traveled the furthest distance from planet Earth. I think the Artemis 2 astronauts, with their mission coming up soon, will go further than any other humans have ever been. Over. Chester, I haven't tried that yet, but I think what would happen if you had someone sitting on a swing and you pushed them, they would actually just keep going round and round and do loops rather than swinging back and forth, since there's nothing to pull them down. Over. Lauren, that is a really tough one to answer. Every single time I look back beautiful looking back at me. Some of my personal favorites are when I come up on a coastline. There's a lot. That most of the Earth is ocean, but you don't realize it till you're up here that most of the time we look out the window, we see ocean. So I always get excited when I see a coast, and I know there will be people down there. Over. Philip, we're actually doing quite a few studies on that. We have an entire combustion integrated rack dedicated to studying fires. I know we found that, on Earth they have that distinct shape, but in space, because of the lack of the force pulling it down, they form in spheres, and I think we have found they generally burn slower and longer, but the studies are definitely ongoing to understand more of why they behave the way they do in space. Over.